Hello everybody, welcome to the Nürburgring. There are 3 rounds left of this 1952 World Championship starting today, and Piero Taruffi, the world champion, he starts on pole. He is 15 points behind Alberto Ascari in the Drivers' World Championship, and Ascari starts 4th today, and in all the races where he has been up the front, he has been by far the fastest. So the odds look good potentially for an Ascari victory today, even though technically he is in 4th place. So we shall see on that one. Farina, he will be keen as well to get a win. He hasn't had a win. He hasn't had a win since 1950. He'll be keen to try to take a win. And we'll see how Villoresi can do getting through the field as well. Those Ferraris, they are... Surely it's going to be one of those 3 Ferraris on the front row, but it's which one? I can't see Villoresi getting into the points today. He may just sneak into the back end of them, but I think realistically he's sort of building up for the next race and hoping desperately that Ascari doesn't win it, because he's a point behind him. That could easily grow. If Ascari wins, he'd be 9 points behind with 2 races to go, and he would still be nowhere near him on the grid and under pressure to try to beat him in Monza to keep in Zandvoort we're going to next in Holland, in order to keep the championship going into Monza for the final round. So that will be pressure for Villoresi. Unfortunately, his retirement from Silverstone was very, very poorly timed, and it's going to make, and the fact that it was so early compared to other drivers as well, means that he is starting all the way down in 18th. For Ascari, when he had his retirement, he started in 11th, which left him still quite poised to get through and claim some points at Silverstone. It's not the same for Villoresi, so difficult race ahead. Taruffi then on pole. Now we've been talking about Ascari and Villoresi, but Piero Taruffi, he's not out of it yet. He will have other ideas, but can he act on them? There we go, they're all away well from the line. Ascari a bit slow in the others, Manzon's away quite well, and Farina, they're all going a bit crossed up in the middle there. I think that's Farina going wide, and he would have gone off, but he bumped into Ascari, and that kept him on line, and amazingly no incidents for either of those two, and they keep going. So Taruffi then, he is actually under pressure from Manzon's Gordini here. Well, didn't expect this. That simcagordini looks quite competitive. Is it just early stages, or will it remain competitive throughout the race? We'll have to see, but I mean, the Gordini's kept up with the Ferraris in several races this year. They haven't looked like a genuine threat to pass them, apart from in France, but that was obviously very wet. But Manzon wants to make up for not being able to get that French result, not being able to see that entire race pan out before he went out of it. And Manzon, he's going to have a look. He can't get past Taruffi yet. Taruffi, is he pacing himself, or is he genuinely struggling for pace? We know generally he has not been the fastest Ferrari driver this year, but at the moment he is the guy with the track position. But Manzon is definitely troubling him, and there is, I think, Villoresi and Fischer. Villoresi already up into what I think is 9th place already, so he was 18th on the grid, so up into 9th already. There might be some hope for Villoresi to sneak into those points, you know, but there is a bit of a gap growing. Transignon has dealt with Wharton. Transignon now up in the 5th place. Taruffi continues to lead. Then it's Manzon, then Farina and Ascari, and as much as it's actually a 6-way fight at the moment. Look, Wharton's still in the background in there as well, but not quite so much as the others. But you know, yeah, we're nobody has made any moves yet. For all of the posturing, all of the build-up, nobody has made any moves. They are still in the order that they started in on the grid. They can't stay like this for the entire race, can they? Surely it's becoming a 5-way fight for the lead now, because Transignon is closing in. So there is a lot of intrigue, and I think Taruffi is doing that old trick of trying to win the race at the slowest pace possible. If that is his genuine pace, Taruffi is in trouble, and Ferrari would maybe be better trying to get Farina or Ascari past Manzon and have them past Taruffi, because then they'd be basically guaranteed the victory, you feel, because they certainly look a lot quicker. It's Taruffi who's the slow one, but the thing is, Manzon has no interest in letting Farina or Ascari through. Manzon will be fully aware that this race might well hinge on him holding that 2nd position for as long as possible. And this means, are we actually suggesting that Robert Manzon... Yeah, I think Manzon... That Gordini surely isn't fast enough, but he'll be able to hold on to the second place. For Manzon, the race is second place, holding on to the second place ahead of the Ferraris. He's probably expecting to come in fourth, but you know, so far they've seen another pace. But he's getting closer to Taruffi, and the further into the race they go, if Manzon's got half a chance, why not have a look? Well, I mean, it would be Ferrari have won every race this year, and I am of the view, and I've had comments as well on the channel, that would be very surprised if Ferrari don't win all the races. But as I say that, Manzon is alongside Taruffi. Who comes out in front there? Coming over the hill, it's Manzon in front. Wow, that is incredible. So, well, now Gordini are staring down the barrel of a victory. Manzon not only has passed Taruffi, but he's pulling away. Taruffi clearly with not a lot of pace. I was just saying that I've had comments on the channel saying that Ferrari may well win every single race this season, as they did in real life, of course, as well. Apart from obviously Indy in real life was the Indy cars and not Formula 1 cars at all, apart from Ascari's entry. Very much the feeling that Ferrari, and I totally concur with that view, that Ferrari are going to win every single race. But Manzon has pulled that into question now. I certainly did not expect to see a simcagordini leading this race. Got to remember, he didn't start on pole, did he? Started, I think, was it second or third? Started third. He's got up into the lead now, Robert Manzon. He almost had a run at Taruffi early in the race, and now he is in the lead, and he's got a little bit of a comfortable cushion. Taruffi surely needs to let Farina go, because he's just not got the pace. Although suddenly Manzon, I think, has made a bit of a mistake there, and Taruffi is back with him again. That Ferrari is surely faster. I think Taruffi just needs to refine his confidence from last year. I mean, even when he won in Silverstone, he did not look completely confident. He was outpaced comfortably by Rudifischer until Fischer retired from the race. Obviously, Villoresi was in that battle as well, but he retired quite early on. But Taruffi, he's still looking like he's lacking a bit of confidence compared to last season, where he absolutely looked fantastic in the races that he won, and even that second place behind Villoresi in Spain, he looked like he had an element of control, and he was just measuring himself sensibly to the end of the race. But that doesn't look to be the case here. Villoresi is up to 7th place, and it looks like that is where they have settled down now. So I think Ken Walton, he was in 6th, but he had an issue. He has dropped back, unfortunately, for Ken Walton and frazernash. But the British teams, they came good at Silverstone, but now they're back to where they normally are. And Taruffi is coming back at Manzon now, and there goes the Ferrari down the inside. Piero Taruffi, there is some confidence. That is the world champion, driving like the world champion, and absolutely nailing that Gordini on the brakes. And look at how quickly Manzon has fallen back, and has he just shot his bolt too early? Is that it now? Are Gordini doomed to finishing in second position in this race? Because, well, yeah, Taruffi is up and away, and this is what we thought might happen if they let Farina or Ascari go through, but Taruffi has found it within himself, and now he is getting away, and Manzon is now a battle for second place with Farina, a very clear battle, because Taruffi has a very clear advantage, look, and he is pulling away. Manzon trying desperately now. I think he'll be desperately to hold on to the podium, because those simcagordinis haven't kept going on the pace for the entire race, but the Ferrari certainly have, and we know they can do. They are very experienced, seasoned campaigners in race wins, but all of a sudden Taruffi's starting to struggle again. Maybe it just depends where you are on the track and what the type of corner is, because Manzon is now back with Taruffi. He couldn't do it again, could he? Well, I don't know. Taruffi needs this victory if he wants to stay in with any hope of defending his world championship, especially considering that Villoresi is not in the points. Ascari is only 4th. Taruffi would actually stand to make a massive gain and be within 10 points of Ascari then, which with 2 races left is still difficult, but it's doable. But Manzon, he's still there. Farina can still have a chance. This is, although there's 2 drivers at the head of fighting for it, this is effectively a 5-way fight, because if Manzon and Taruffi were to take each other wide, all of a sudden Farina, Ascari, even Trintignant are right in it. This is an epic battle. 5 cars. Any one of them still potentially could win the race if there was to be some sort of little tiny butterfly effect in that pack. But Manzon is having another look at Taruffi, and Taruffi fends him off. But once again, that pace has closed down, and Gordini is faster again. And wow, what a race we are watching here. Piero Taruffi not got far to go now to claim the victory, but Robert Manzon, Giuseppe Farina, Alberto Ascari and Maurice Trintignant They are all bothering him, very much bothering him, bothering his mirrors. And Manzon is again looking for a way around him. Clearly it's getting towards the end of the race now. Manzon has gone into let's just go for it mode now, because Taruffi, he's a world champion. He's kind of got something to lose. He has that mentality. Manzon has never been in a championship fight before, but a victory here would keep him. Well, he's going for it. He's going for it. And through goes Manzon. And I was saying victory here, if Taruffi finishes second even, victory here would move Manzon up to third. And he would only be 11 points off Ascari. That's assuming Ascari finishes fourth. So Manzon is potentially still in the championship fight. Outsider as much as he is, Manzon he's not just past Taruffi, but he is now getting away, and Farina coming for a look at his teammate. And Ascari is also, he's sort of more in a hopeful position, waiting for those two Ferraris to bug each other so he can pick them off. And Trantignan the same. Ferrari cannot afford to have a clash, just in case, even in worst case scenario, Taruffi and Farina go off. They don't want to take Ascari out, especially now considering that Manzon, if he wins, the world title may not go to Ferrari this year. It should do still, but if that Gordini pace continues into Zandvoort and Monza, wow, it's going to be quite the epic grandstand finish to the season. We are 6 races in, there are 2 to go. If you're enjoying this, please do remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications, because there are still 2 races to go in the season, and it is looking like this championship is going to be absolutely enthralling. And Robert Manzon, he is indeed going to come along and claim the victory in Nürburgring. Crosses the line to fantastic applause. Who saw that coming? I certainly didn't. Ferrari do not have 100% of the victories this year, because Gordini, simcagordini and Robert Manzon have gone and taken it from them. Piero Taruffi does finish in second, holds on ahead of Giuseppe Farina. Alberto Ascari started fourth, finished fourth. Well, I was saying that Ascari is the quickest driver by far this year, but apparently not now. Apparently he's just got to hold on for dear life. He's still 3 places ahead of Villoresi, but they are close now on the grid for the next Grand Prix, and every little margin can make a difference. But Manzon and Taruffi, who are catching up to them, they are in a position where they could well be within striking distance going into the last round in Monza. So let's see. Robert Manzon wins the German Grand Prix for simcagordini. Piero Taruffi second in the Ferrari. Giuseppe Farina third in the Ferrari. And Alberto Ascari fourth in the Ferrari. But Ferrari ultimately, they just couldn't do anything about Manzon's pace. Taruffi tried everything. Farina and Ascari can never pass Taruffi, so Ferrari 2, 3, 4. And then simcagordini bookend the top and bottom places of the points, with Maurice Trantignan in 5th place. Nobody else was in the same race. Look at Fischer and Villoresi, 18 seconds behind. And, well, for someone who's fighting for the World Championship, I know that Villoresi started way, way back, but to be 18 seconds behind, that is, wow, that's a big, big gap. And Villoresi will be hoping that that's only a one-off, because he could be in trouble, and his World Championship could be in trouble. That might make things a bit more straightforward for Ascari, but Villoresi is going to be starting 7th for Zandvoort. We'll keep an open mind and we'll see what he can do there. So the World Championship standings then, Alberto Ascari up to 30 points, so he did help himself a bit today. He's 4 points clear, and a 3rd place in Monza, potentially, if Villoresi, Manzon and Taruffi don't do what they need to do, a 3rd place could clinch the title for Alberto Ascari. But that is a very big if. Villoresi, he's on 26, Manzon on 19 points, so 11 points off. If he was to hold that position and Ascari finishes 3rd or lower, Manzon could go into Monza with a faint chance of the championship. Taruffi, he's only a point further back, 18 points. Then it's Farina on 10, Fischer on 9, and the rest of them, the constructors. Well, Ferrari, they are comfortable. They've already been champions for ages now, but 100 points for Ferrari, 34 for simcagordini, 2 for Maserati, 2 for frazernash. So, yeah, lots to come. 2 races to go. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe to keep up with this, and hit that bell for notifications, and I will see you soon. Take care.